Hi everybody. Let's come in and have a moment with Celeste, shall we? I need to have a moment with myself. You guys can come in for a moment with Celeste and I'll have the moment with Celeste. This gal right here, right? Sometimes I need a moment. Sometimes I need a moment. A moment for someone to say, hey Celeste, how you doing? Let's see, what other kind of moments do we have? A moment in my work situations when I used to work outside of the home, and sometimes we had to have a moment. Either my boss had to have a moment with me or I had to have a moment with my employees. It was all about a moment, wasn't it? It sure is. Well, I'm looking forward to continuing our little journey today. This will be session 3 of the Fabric Journal. And the chunkiness of it all is just something I'm loving every time I touch it, and every time I look at it, I just am loving it more and more and more. So today I'm gonna walk through here. We're gonna show you little things that I've added since we were on the last time. And then we'll add some more pieces, right? Have any of you picked up these cute little, so if you're out there, come on in and say hi. So I know I have some peeps watching today. Have any of you picked up these little flowers? I don't know if they have them now, but they had them all summer during the spring at HL. And they're a little pricey, I thought, but if you wait to get them half price, I was able to get them for $3. So, I don't know. I'm thinking I might have to put these little cutesy pootsies up here somewhere, right? I was glad last night I was able to get my little stacking snowman finished up. If you watched yesterday's live, and then saw my post today, you can see that I did some addings and some changing. But overall, I'm happy with how it turned out. Overall. So come on in, say hi, everybody. Get that little flower trimmed up here. And let's see, I think I'll trim this here. Hello, Patsy. Girl, you have been busy. I'm loving all the videos you're doing and such. Your things that you're putting together are pretty spectacular, I have to say, my friend. Pretty spectacular. Hi, Tammy. Good to see you. How are you today? Everybody off to a good Tuesday? I guess it's all half over now, isn't it? Last night, after I got finished with the snowman, sitting here, and my husband came in and he says, hey, a friend of his had called and wanted to know if we wanted to meet him for pizza. So we trotted out there at about 6:30 to go get pizza. Had a nice visit, nice time. One of our local places here in town is called Mama's Pizza, and they own 3 or 4 different restaurants. They've been here since I was a teenager. So, aren't those cute? Okay, well, let's take a little walk through here. Let's see. I'm doing really good, Tammy. I'm doing really good. Thank you for asking. And we're going to do a little walkthrough. So last week after we got off of this here, turn it down a bit so you can see it a little better. I did find this little tag that I thought was kind of a cute little tag that kind of just fit this. And so and it's a little blue on the back. See that? But and I put a little vintage paper safety pin on there. But it says, I hope you feel all the beautiful things I hope you see that surprise you. There is no time like today. So We love it when we look at things and we just get such a surprise out of a feeling of, oh, I just love it, right? Hi, Peggy. Come on in, my dear friend. So that was a piece that I added on from last week, was this little tag. And let's see if there's anything else. Okay, so yep. I don't think I had done this with you guys on here. So this page here I finished up. I used that pretty pocket that we made out of the vintage pillowcase. And I trimmed it up and I put a little stringer of my little half pearls here. And then I remembered I have my little tea bags that I make. And I pinned this one in. It's a shaker bag, but it goes perfect. And so I put a piece of crocheted lace trim down here for it's a little pocket. And then I pinned it here so it isn't going to go anywhere. Then to put in this pocket, I made this just a sweet little notebook to do some journaling in. So I think I may have started some of this with you. I think I showed you this pretty, I've had this for a long time. I thought, well, I'm going to put it together. And then I just added in some notebook pages and I just tied this on. This here is just tied on. So I can add papers as I choose to. Thank you, Peggy. Okay, so then we'll scooch over. And I think we did this last week where we added on the paper, I believe. But if not, I've done that since last week too. I like this because you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of parchment paper. But it's just notebook paper that I had inked with so that it kind of got a parchment feel. And then having it on this fabric here kind of makes me feel like an old scroll or something. So I like that. Then remember I showed you the little picture and someone suggested about putting that in a book. So I'm going to put this here. I put a little pink flower on it. And I made a little tuck pocket right here on this page. And that's where I've put my little picture of my brother and my sister and I. Whoop, don't want to knock my laptop off. That won't be good. Then this one here, I love, love, love. I think you guys are going to love this one too. So, I'll show you first. So I had a doily, and it was a big one. And I cut it down. And I've turned this into a pocket. Okay. So I've got this pretty little pocket with this neutral colors here and these little flowers. Then I was looking through my stash and I remembered I had some angel wings. So I'm putting that down here. But look at this precious one. You guys, is she not adorable? And then there's writing space on the back too. So I'm tucking her right in there, and she's going to kind of just peek out a little bit of that. So that's what I ended up doing with that one. That was a happy moment when I found those pieces, I have to say. Hi, sweetie pie. Then, flip it over. And then I remembered that I had purchased a bunch of these on the Whatnot here a couple weeks ago of these vintage angels. So I took one of those and I glued it on that little half piece. Oops, find the back here. Chicka chicka boom, here we go. Okay, so we still got this one. Then I've added this little embellishment. I went through and I added this kind of this color here it's a neutral color, but it was kind of a taupe. Kind of a taupey satin. But then I have these. Aren't these pretty? And I put a little brass pearl vintage button on that. I do too, Peggy. Hello, I gotta have that. How are you today, my dear friend? Thanks for coming in. So we've got that one, and then I put a little strip of some crocheted trim just down the edge there, just to kind of give it a little bit of a, so it wasn't just a plain looking page. Then over here, I'm telling you guys, I just love this. That we did that very first week. Mod Podging the tissue paper on that waffle weave fabric. I just love this feeling. Okay, so then we're going to go over here, and we're going to go over here, and we're going to go over here. I'm just looking to see if I put anything else together yet. Okay, so here's one I need to put in. And remember, this is a little of that matisse, is that how you say it? And that I had left over from the front cover. So I thought this would make a nice little pocket here. And I liked it. I kept this edge here that was sewn on. And so I'm going to put that so that it sets, kind of sticks over a little bit maybe. But I'm not going to glue it down. I'm just going to let it kind of flap up that edge there on that trim. So let's see if we can get my stinky glue working today. Get my stinky glue. I've used a lot of stinky glue here the last few weeks. I'm going to have to go buy some more. Get it shaken down a little bit. Now, the trick on this one's going to be for me not to get my glue through the holes of the eyelet so that it would stick to the back, because I don't want to do that. So when I do this, I'm going to have to come up here and I'm going to have to put it on these spots like right here that have the fabric. So let's just give it a try here and see which one of my glues will come out first today. Because you just never know. You just never know. Okay. Here it comes. Okay, I'm going to put a piece there. I'm going to put a string here, put another. I'm just going to put dots right along here, going down. And then I'm not going to bring it all the way to the bottom. Let's see if we can get it to cooperate here. Across here. Okay, I'll try that piece first. There, it's got to come over a little more. Okay, so we've got that, and we got this, and we got this little piece here hanging. Now I don't know, I might come through and just kind of fringe that a little bit. Okay, now I'm going to come over here, and then we're going to put dots in here. Well, this glue today is really wanting to chunky up. Chunky. It's probably because it's getting older, I'm thinking. All right. And that's that 3-in-1 glue that I like to use for stuff like this. I'll just press that down. Okay, so there we have our little pocket. And then we'll figure out what we're going to do with our little pocket. I do know there's a couple things that I'm going to possibly put in this one. I just have to decide which one. One of my very good friends that I worked with for several years, and we just became very good friends and are still good friends today, gave this to me a while back. It said, "The best antiques are old friends." Isn't that cute? So I'm thinking, hi, Lori. How are you? I'm so excited for you with your new page. Hi, Jill. So this will fit really well in here in this one because it's a bigger pocket. So I think that's where I'm going to put it for now. Because as I've worked on this is one, as I said, that I'm going to keep for myself. And I am going to use the idea that some of you gave last week of inserting, favorite pictures and things like that. So I'm thinking that maybe on this one, I don't know if I have enough pictures, but I could do other things. I'm going to turn this into my friend book, and things that I write in here maybe will be something that comes in one of our conversations or things that we'll do. I will put in here, I have a friend that does a lot of photography, and she does a lot of nature or flower prints, and so when she posts those, I might print some of those off and just stick them in folders throughout. I have things that just will remind me of different friends, is what I'm thinking. And then maybe write some things about friendship. How does that sound? Does that sound like a plan? Okay, now for this piece here, I do have those beautiful pink roses that I had gotten. These are some of my favorite. I get at our little local store by the, it's called, the brand is Little Birdie. So I had not ever heard of Little Birdie until this store. It's the only place I ever see it at. Okay, now, this is another cute little card that I had too. It just says, with love. And you can put things on the back of that. Trying to see here. There's anything that I know I just have to. Okay, I want to see something here. So I'm selling these on my sale. So I have two sales coming up. I have one coming this Thursday at 11 o'clock Central Time during the day on Whatnot, under my Moments with Celeste on Whatnot. And there's going to be lots of goodies. I've been going through getting everything priced on that. And then I'm having another sale a week from Friday on the Crafty Bunch, the first Friday sale. So a couple options there, and I'm trying to mix things up a little bit. But this was a tablecloth that I had bought at a store. And I bought it because I love this. And so when I tore it, I have the option of I can take the lace, this pink piece off of it, or I could leave it on. So for these, I decided to leave it on because I love it when I'm doing my journals, when I get to have pieces of the fabric that it was attached to that are on it. So I'm wondering what this would look like if we take this and kind of just do a little trim. I'll bring it down. I don't know, I kind of like that bottom to peek out. So I can do that. But you know, that pink, I thought, oh, I gotta know where I'm going. I know where that's going. I do. Okay, so we'll lay that there for now. Then I want to go through some things here. This is my little box of goodies, and the majority of this I had received as little gifts that they gave us at the meet and greet, the Crafty Bunch meet and greet. And I know there's some things in here that I can pull out and use. So I thought maybe we do that today here. Okay, so someone, I don't even know who, I can't remember. Someone, I got this little bag. Are you ready for this? There's little cards, and guess what they are? They are the women of the White House. You guys, look at all of them. And so if I can get it open, I know I'll be using this at some point in this journal. Hi, Missy. But here was Mrs. George Washington. Wasn't she a lovely lady? At first, I wasn't quite sure that it was the wife, but that's what it is. And then on the back, it's got portraits of ladies of the White House and all kinds of things about it. Are those not just precious, you guys? So let me go through here, and oh my gosh. So it looks like I have like 3 of each kind. 3 of each kind. These are kind of funny. Get this one. Boy, when we think we're having a bad hair day, ladies. Oh, this one's beautiful. Mrs. Andrew Jackson. Isn't that pretty? So you know I'm going to be using these in here. Here's, let's see. Mrs. John Adams. Look at that. Isn't that cute? Oh, Patsy. I know. Isn't that beautiful? This was actually the chenille here that I had. This here. You know what? I think I might have some of this. I actually have some I know that I'm putting in my sale. That's for the one going to be on the Crafty Much. So anyway, my predicament. Now, something just came to me. I might pick some of these that, let's see how far it goes. It can't go too far back, surely. Yeah, they pretty much stop with what we would consider like Mrs. Garfield. Aren't those fun? So what I think I'm going to do, wouldn't it be fun as I'm sitting here looking at these? I think it would be a kind of fun if I kept this open and glued this like a pocket. Let's just see what this would look like. And here's Mrs. James Monroe. And tuck these in here like that. And I'm going to get the ones, of course, that have the pinky, vintagey feel to them. I love this one. I just love this one. That's probably my favorite that I've seen so far. Isn't this cool? Let's see, probably get one more in here. And I know, there's some more. Oh, look at this one. Isn't that beautiful? So I can take these and we'll just put them in here in this little pocket. Uh-oh. She's getting happy, gals. She's getting happy. Okay, so let's get our glue down here. And make a pocket on top of the pocket, right? Oh, come on. Silly stuff here. Might have to get to a different glue. That I don't really want to, but might have to. Okay, we'll put that one away now. We'll try this one. Okay, so we're going to put this up here, come right to the edge there. And then we're going to come under here. And we'll set that down. Okay. And then we'll put this one over here. Going to have to probably hold this one down a little bit because it's going to absorb more of that. Maybe I'll put a little bit of my hot glue in there to tack it here. Okay. When all else fails, hot glue comes to the rescue. We know, right? I almost always use my hot glue on things like my bigger projects where I have to use my E6000. I always put my E6000, but then I put some spots of that to give it a quick hold. Okay, so there we've got that. Now we'll put our little pretties back in here. Whoops, I'm gonna glue that up here. Okay. So there we've got those in there, and I might come back later and maybe they do look so prim and proper, don't they, Lori? They do. Not a hair is out of place. And the way that some of them, they did those, remember back in those days, those tight curls that almost looked like they were waxed. Okay, so we've got that one there. Then let's see, what do we have that I want to put on? Okay, I think I'll go on to the next thing for now, and then we'll come back, because I really do like this one. And you know, this one will be really pretty on here. Let's just do it, because it has those curls that remind me of their hair. Oh gosh, let's see if I can do this the right way. So I'm going to come over here, and we'll come a little bit from where that little flappy is going to flappy, and get that on. If any of you are interested in me sending you the link of the Whatnot sale on the Whatnot app, just put link in the comments, and after we're done, I'll send it to you. So, you know, some of you do Whatnot, some of you don't. Some of you have never tried it. Maybe you think you're going to want to. It's kind of one of those things. So then let's come over here, and we'll do this one too. And get that. Sale will be on Thursday during the daytime. Okay. I'm leaving my little stringies on here just because I kind of like them to stick up from the top. So put some there. We'll do you here. Patsy, if you're still on here, did you finish up your red and black one journal? I hadn't seen if you did or not. So if you did, I'll have to go take a peek-see. Okay. Now this too might even be kind of cute. I don't know. Let's see here. The little rosebud. But I do kind of like that little piece of paper greenery because of the green that's in the hair. So I want to put this on. This I think actually came out of my paper flowers that I do. Yeah, I had never either. I have to say, it's not my favorite thing in the world to do a sale on. I always seem to have quite a few techie issues, and from what I see from others, they do too. But, and it's a very different style from what I do on my Facebook sales. Facebook, I think, is much easier. Let's just put it that way. Okay. You're still working on it. Okay, good. I thought maybe I missed it. All right. Then we're going to come in here, and let's see what we've got over here now. So back in my little thing. See, somebody even gave me a little thing of a little stamper. So this would be something that would be adorable. So I might have to, I don't think I've got a, yeah, I do. Let's see here. This one here. Look at that cute little paper clip. So definitely going to put that for right now to stick that right there. Oh, I love getting all these little thingies, you guys. And look at this. Every little piece. Like here, look at this teensy weensy itsy bitsy paper clip. So this is going to be adorable in here too. So I got to figure out which page I'm going to put it on. But for now, I'm going to stick it on the top of this little card. That way I know it's in here. Look how tiny that little clip is. Isn't it cute? So bust and hips. I don't know what this is all about. Bust and hips. and gave me a little stamper and an acrylic block. So this will be cute to do. So there's pink and there's cream. Bust and hips. Every woman who attempts to make shirt waist immediately discover difficult it is to obtain a good fit. Well, isn't that cute? These are little old papers. So you know this is definitely going to go in here somewhere. Here's a copy of an old letter from 1917. Gosh. You guys, these are precious. See, I haven't even gotten into everything yet. And it's real old papers. All I can see, it's real thin. How to coat candy, Baker's Dot candies. His definite foreknowledge. Aren't those awesome? Guys. My friend. Hello, Suze. Oh, I put my schedule out. It was there. So whenever you're not sure, if you just scroll down the bottom of my page, you're always going to go down a little bit. I try to always get those out on Sunday night or on Monday morning. Okay, so let's just try this just for fun. Let's see here. I'm going to put it on this piece here. And I think I'll do it with a black archival ink. I think. So here's my archival. And then I'm going to put, it's a flower. How cute. And if you can see that or not. Can you see that? Just a little flower. Yeah, you can't. Okay, so I'm going to put this on here. Maybe I'll go at a little angle. We'll see here. You know, these are quite the invention they came up with, weren't they? Bye-bye, Lori. Have fun at the Crack Center. Okay, then I'm going to stamp it on. Okay. Then let's see. Let's just kind of do it like right over here. Oh, that did really nice. Look at there. Isn't that cute? That's one thing I don't do enough of, is my ink stamp pads. I need to do more. I need to just make like a whole bunch of my tags and different things. Because I just do. So we'll do that. I'm going to do that. And then we're going to take it. I'm really thinking I want to put it on one of these back by a little bit of the pixie. I bet you this was from Linda. Maybe. I don't know, Linda Glenham, was this from you? Okay, now I'm going to take this and I think I'm going to tear it out. So I love the feel and the look of the torn paper. Come up around. And the greatest sounds in life, right there. That and tearing fabric. Okay, so we've got that. Then I have one of these things that was in the pack. And I'm kind of thinking, I don't want to do that one yet. Maybe I'll tear some off of this piece here, and we'll put some pink on top of that. So this is a vintagey pink paper too. You can see the yellowing on the top of it. Okay. Then, let's see, if we put that there, and then I think I'll come down here. I think I'll tear the bottom half off. Okay. Are you with me? Can you see from all this other stuff I'm doing? Probably not. Can you know that? Okay. So I'm thinking I'm going to put that kind of like a little background. And I think I'll lay this away. Then I'm going to be able to keep about the whole thing. If I want to. Do I want to is the question. Okay, so this is how I think I'm going to do it. Okay, so get my glue. Come in here. Okay, so we're going to put it this way. Okay. Hopefully that's straight. And then I think I put a little bit of, I got some pretty, it's over here. I know it's over here because I just did it. Got this blush colored cheesecloth. Isn't that pretty? So I'm thinking that maybe a chunk of this to go on something. I just love that. It's so soft too. It might even just be netting, vintage netting, I think is what it was. Okay, so we've got that. Then let's take a piece of one of my other little textiles here. I don't want one that has too much going on with it. Here's a piece of this that I could put on here, and then let's just see what this is going to look like. Oh yeah, that'll be pretty. Okay, then we're going to scrunch it up. So I think what I'll do is I'm just going to kind of cut it, a little waggy cut here. A little waggy cut. You ever do a waggy cut, anybody? Am I the only waggy cutter? I guess it could also be called a wavy cut, right? Okay. So we've got that. Oh, thank you, Peggy. This is where I love being this is where I'm in my zone, is when I can just see something and think, oh, I can do that. I can do this. Okay, now I'm going to set this one because I'm going to have it run up and down this way. Because my thought is that I'm going to probably make it into it's either going to be a tag or it's going to go into the middle. Let me try some of this. Ooh, wait a minute. Here's some of this too. I have this little pink. I have that little pink, but then I think that's going to cover that up. And it's going to make this not be so pretty. So no, we're not doing that. I knew it as soon as I picked it up, didn't I? I knew it. Oh, let's see here. I'm not sure on this one. That's what I'm kind of debating on. And as I'm looking at it, I don't know. Here we go. Okay, I'm going to take a piece of this. One of my lovely friends had sent to me. And then a pretty one too. Look at all the prettiness I get out of that. Okay, then I'll put that there, kind of this away. Have the point go down. Then we will put this blushy stuff, and I hope it shows up. I'll put some blushy in some of this flat lace. That's what I'll do. I like it better than that for this purpose. Okay, so let's get this on. Okay. Just going to kind of put that in the middle. It's kind of like a cluster in a sense, right? Okay, then we're going to put this over it. And I'm going to bring this in. And I'm going to put this one on first, though. Okay. So we're going to go in here and we're going to crunchy that up a little bit. Okay, and then we're going to put this one in here like so. And then the flower is going to come right on top of it. So it's just giving me some really very faint layers. Now I do need to take this and we need to grunge the edges. I'm going to try it with this little brush. What's your preference when you ink? Do you like the ink dauber pad? Or do you use a brush? What do you guys like to use? I gotta know. Come on. Okay, now we're going to come up here. And I'm just going to ink that part that I tore. That looks pretty, that black soot on there. Kind of, it's a black archival is what this one is. But doesn't that look pretty on there? I like that, how that turned out. Then I'll come through and I'm going to do the same around the edge of this. Just a sooty looking color. Kind of a blend. It's a little more than I wanted, but okay. All right, so we've got that. And get the lid on this. I'm going to make myself into a mess here. And then we're going to put this. Now, I'm going to put this on just with the plain paper, okay? Because I want it to look, I don't know, crumply, I guess, is what I'm going for. And I'm trying to decide if I want it that way or if I want it this way. Because I know if I use it as a tuck card, that it's going to have to go, let's see, it goes over here. Let me see a page. Because the other thing I can do is, like for this page here, I think that would be beautiful on this piece of chenille cream colored, to have that be the centerpiece. And then maybe I, you know, just will put little note thingies around it. But that, I think I like that on there because that's a really bare piece that needs to have some love. Okay, that's going to be too busy there. I could put it over here. I could put it on that. I could put it up here. Maybe that's where I need to put it, is on this eyelet, because this will be a harder one to do a lot with. Okay. Let's commit, Celeste. Let's commit. So I'm going to put that on here. I'm going to put a little bit of hot glue in the hopes that this will hold it on. Okay. And then that can even go at a cattywampus, which I like. Okay. All right, so make sure I don't have nothing sticking back here. I should find something to stick under. Find something to stick under that page. Okay. Then we're going to put this one right on top. You use a brush and a dauber. Do you, Lori? Yeah. I probably use the dauber more often. Now, when I first started doing this, all about, a couple years ago, starting doing journals, I used the brush a lot. I do like sometimes how the brush gives it kind of a more of a wispy feel to it, I think. Okay, so we'll go here, and then I'm going to press it, and I'm going to hold it down for a second. Okay. So that kind of helps fill that page up a little bit, right? Okay, what else do I have in my box of goodness? Oh. I see something here. Oh, isn't that pretty? I've got to use that. I have to use that. Pretty, pretty, pretties. Lots of little ephemera pieces for more journals. I just made several doily clusters that I'll have on my sale. And then look at that, isn't that pretty? Aren't they just beautiful? So in here, this one was my friend Jeanette. Thank you, Jeanette, if you see this replay. Oh, sweet. Look at that. Wouldn't that be pretty on there too? A dangle. This is pretty. Oh, look at the flower on the back. Look at the lace. She lined the back with lace. Oh my gosh. The things that we can think of, right? I love this. I'm going to save that for when I get deeper in here and figure out what I want to even do even more special. I just keep the special rolling. So where are we at? I got about 10 minutes here. Okay, so I think I showed you last week this little wood tag, hand tag that I had made a while back. So that's definitely going to go back in there, right? You can call me Queen Cluster. Okay. Queen Cluster. I like that. I'm even thinking that this will be, these little organza things that people send things in, those will be, this will definitely be something I will put in here. So like, for example, if I put my little hang tag in there and we just tighten it up a bit, and I can just attach that in, that makes a little pocket. Something different, right? Something different. So that's definitely will be something I'll play around with. Okay, now, don't want these little ladies to fall out of here. No, jump down a little further. Okay. Okay. And then we have, I had this little angel. Isn't she pretty? That little 3D angel. I think it was Anne Griffith. So I'm trying to figure out where I want to put her. So on this really, really thin piece, this little doily that's very thin, that might be a good spot for her to just put her right there so that when you flip that, that's what you're going to see. And so that's what I'm going to do. I love these angels that I found. Love them. Okay, so we're going to put her like in the middle of this square right here. And I'm going to press her down. I'm going to come here to the back. Make sure I get both sides. I like pecan clusters too, Lori. Oh, gosh. Oh, gosh. So that's where that's at. Then we've got this piece here. And this is where, look at that button I've had forever and ever and ever, ever. So I have this doily, and I thought we could put some of that on this paper here. So now I have to decide if I want to put this big silver button right there in the middle of that, or I'm going to put Jeanette's pretty cross in here. Oh, it's not even a competition. I'm putting it. If I get the glue to come out that needs to come out. Isn't that gorgeous? Get my little prayer page in here. I am just having struggle bus with this 3-in-1 glue. I think they make it so that when it gets to be about 1/4 of the way left, that you can't get it out. Hi, Norma. When did you go back to Missouri? How did I miss that one? I can't keep track of Norma, I tell you. She's a traveling gal. She's always aboard, but she's never home. Okay, let's see here. By the time I get all the fumes out of it, I might pass out. I really want this on here. This ain't no fun to watch me have to do this, I know. Okay, well, I guess for the temporary fix, I'm going to put some hot glue around it. Okay, and then we're going to put it at a little angle. Have you kind of got the vibe that I like to do angles? Okay, so that's going to go on here. So I'll press that on really well. And then we're going to take and put some of this on the back. I'm glad I saw you were gone, because I was going to actually call you tonight and see if you want to go get something to eat. But guess I don't need to. Okay. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, and there that one is. Isn't that pretty? That looks so pretty on there with that cream waffle, the tissue peach or pink, and then that gorgeous cross. I love this. I love this. For those of you that know me well, you know that my faith in Christ is very strong. And I love when I can reflect Him in different things that I make. Okay, we got that. We've got this. So there's the back of it. So now, let's see over here. Now, I do have different cards that are things that I have picked up at different vintage stores and places over time. And this one here has a pinky theme, but it's not as Victorian. Now, that one would work. And I don't know why I'm thinking I have to have a Victorian, because I don't. Look at this one. Because I don't. I love all the things. I love them. I love them. But I am thinking this gorgeous rose is going to have to go in here somewhere. And this here, how did she do this? So she's got the lace on the back. And then she made it with a little flap. And then put one of those little bracelet clips on there. Isn't that cute? And then it dangles. Oh, how sweet. So this would definitely have to be a tuck card, because I don't want to cover up either sides of this, any of the sides of that one. So that will be a tuck card when I get some more pockets put in. Oops, don't want to do that. Okay, let's see what else we have here. Somebody did some playing cards. They found some vintage ones. That would be a pretty one in there, won't it? And that one would go. Okay, awesome. Awesome, the blossom. A little cute little thing to put them in. This is fun. Now this is what I'm thinking right now. It's this little thing that's like that. I'll put some paper on the back of it to make them little right tuck spots. And then we'll just put them in there and make that into the pocket. How's that sound? Okay. All right, well, whoa, there went my box. I'm glad that was the last thing to do. Okay, so I'm going to find a spot for that I will put that little tuck card, and I don't think I've got enough room here, but maybe I do. For now, maybe I can just put them in there so I know that I've got her. Let's see if it sticks out the top, though. No, that's a good one. Okay, good. That'll be a good spot for that for now. And there we have it for today. We didn't get a whole lot accomplished, did we? But I hope you had fun. I'm glad that you were able to pop in today. If you're catching this on replay, please do hashtag replay and let me know you're here. If anybody's watching this and you don't currently follow A Moment with Celeste, I invite you to do so, to follow my page. And then a reminder that for those that are interested, I am having a sale this Thursday. Hello, Jean. Oh, thank you, Jean. It's nice to have you here with us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And so we're doing a Whatnot sale at 11 o'clock Central Time this Thursday. And then I will be on again tomorrow, you guys. Some of you, it's like you're either never going to see me or you see me forever, don't you? I'm doing one tomorrow. And I believe it's 1 o'clock Central is when I'm supposed to be on if they confirm for me. Because I had sent a message a couple days ago and it wasn't confirmed, so I'm not sure. So I might be on tomorrow at 1. And you can catch me there because it's supposed to be on Lolly's VIP group. So we'll see. We'll see if that happens tomorrow. If not, I will be working on my sale projects. But thanks, guys. Appreciate you. Love you all. Have a blessed, blessed day. I pray in Jesus' name that you just have a wonderful rest of this day, that you are just going to feel blessed and feel joy unspeakable. Talk to you later.